Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV in the shadows of Liege Stadium. Can't even remember the name. The Schlesien. After Arsenal's 2-2 draw with Standard Liege. Me, Layth and Serge were in the away end. Fantastic away end tonight, wasn't it? Sum up what the away end was like for us, boys.
Brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Arsenal were behind Arsenal fans were behind the team. It was absolutely fantastic, honestly. Brilliant.
Bear in mind, we just come from West Ham, which was full limbs, full mental. We came in with full energy, expecting, desiring, wanting a good game. And even though we conceded 2 goals, we were still giving it large, going for it. And what I love about this game, it was a European, proper old school stadium. Beers at half time, beers in the stands. The stewards didn't care. Sitting there, you can have a smoke, you can have a beer, you can shout your team on. You don't get any bother. It was the ideal team play. I mean, it was just excellent. I mean, obviously the result wasn't perfect, but the attendance was excellent.
And everyone, even when Arsenal were 2-0 down, everyone seemed like relatively sort of, happy to be there and enjoying the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
And then that 2-0, the 2 goals, sort of quick time turnaround.
That
was really enjoyable to that turnaround, wasn't it?
You're absolutely right, Toby. I'll stop interrupting you when you're talking to me. But it was brilliant. Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic. Do you feel Christmas? We're all on the piss, all having a drink. I've got to stop swearing here. It was absolutely fantastic.
You're a disgrace.
Absolute disgrace. But no, Arsenal were brilliant. It was great to see some old friends, old faces. We've had a really, really good day. We've had a long drive over, but it's been a really good laugh. Absolutely fantastic. And to see Arsenal pull 2 goals back, brilliant.
And what was excellent, those 2 goals came in fairly quick succession. So once again, like West Ham on Monday, we had the opportunity to go mental with it first. Me and you always went over we actually did go over our seats. We went 2 rows down, had to climb back up to our seats. Celebrated the second, went mental again, went 2 rows down again. I was sitting there at the barrier, just absolutely having a great time. It was a wonderful experience.
These boys were back on the chairs again. It was good to see.
It was great to see. I mean, I feel sorry for Dan having to sit there in the press box in the freezing cold and not go crazy.
He's got a hat on tonight.
Exactly. Poor old Dan, Grumpy Dan. In the absence of Grumpy Glenn, we've got Grumpy Dan. As for the performance, I mean, first half was pretty poor, wasn't it? And second half.
Well, firstly, I think I've got pneumonia. I was like chiseling my fingers off at half time. But yeah, first half wasn't great. No. Second half wasn't great either, apart from that little spell towards the end.
Really,
but they just got a bit more cutting edge for me. They should be winning games by a big margin with the chances they do create. So yeah, there's aspects where it has to improve, but I think there has been an improvement in terms of the last dying days of Emre's reign. I think there has been an improvement, and you've got to give Freddie Ljungberg credit for that. He's obviously not. He's spoken about this in the past about not having a lot of time between games to work with the squad. I think he's done a lot of good work in those short time spells he's had.
Absolutely.
Obviously, furthering Dan's point, not only has he done a lot of work, but he's also
got pneumonia as well.
Today, bringing in the youth players, the players we don't get to see very often from the away stand. It was so nice to see a team with, in essence, entire youngsters, and with David Luiz obviously marshalling at the back.
Debatable.
But all the youngsters, it was lovely seeing Mavropanos back, lovely seeing Emil Smith-Rowe back in the team, lovely seeing Reece Nelson and Willock. You might not have seen it on the TV, but the home end, where the ultras are, they had a flag with the Spurs icon on it.
Do you know what? I want to add to this.
Seriously.
So the press box, wherever that's at, so you can see the press box way over there, those kind of grey benches in the background. Just off to my right, there was a man in a Spurs jacket. And do you know what? I tweeted about this. You can go find some of my irreverent tweets on my Twitter, which I'm sure will be somewhere in the description. But yeah, I just tweeted basically saying, fair play to this Tottenham fan. He's come all this way to watch the best team in North London. Credit to him.
Excellent. Well done.
We got into the away and we saw that flag and we went, honestly, it's going to be one of those days.
But do you know what? Like, literally, I was here 26 years ago to watch Arsenal win 7-0 against the Liege, my first European trip. And there was a bloke who had a flag. It wasn't even a flag, it was like a bed sheet. It basically said,
He's like scaling down the stand.
Spurs group.
Spurs, It was just like, what are you doing? Just worry about your own team. 26 years later, they've still got to worry about us.
It's probably still the same bloke.
It probably is.
Is it the same bed sheet?
Absolutely, might as well be. I hope he's watched it, but that's just,
he might not have done.
But just a word on today. It's been brilliant. We love coming to Belgium because it's like you just have a good drink, you have a good laugh. What was it like in the pub before you?
It was a good atmosphere. We were sitting there having a good repartee with the Belgian waiter, the Belgian barman. A few Arsenal fans came in. We had a good chat with them.
Yep.
Everyone was really excited, looking forward to it. So it's one of those days where it doesn't really matter because the result at the end of it was irrelevant because we were already through.
Yeah.
But the fans still travelled all the way, put the effort in, spent all their euros on Jupiler and other fake Belgian lagers and beers.
Absolutely.
And it was just a really good, happy atmosphere. I haven't seen a single person that had a negative atmosphere of mine. Everyone was just happy, going for it.
Absolutely.
And on that also, Arsenal finished top of the group in the Europa League. That was obviously a foregone conclusion in a way.
We're staying up. We're staying up.
Who do you boys
Why do I
want?
have to work with these?
Who do you boys want in the next round?
Do you know what?
So
I just want a decent trip somewhere. I wouldn't mind somewhere like Amsterdam. Obviously, we could possibly get Getafe. That'd be a nice trip. Hopefully, a bit more sunshine than we had here.
No.
Absolutely freezing.
I want somewhere warm. Just somewhere warm. That's all I want.
I mean, you want somewhere in Eastern Europe, don't you?
Or somewhere dirt cheap where you can get, 17
looking at
lagers for the
Cluj.
price of a programme.
You were looking at Cluj or Ludogorets. There's plenty of options.
Serge on the way out was talking all about how he wants to go to Belgrade.
Look at their programme. Their programme is 4 pages long. It's 4 pages long, their programme. It's nowhere near a programme level we're used to.
The thing about European away trips is obviously you had Minsk last season, which wasn't great. But I think a lot of the trips you just enjoy it for what it is. You go with your mates, you have a good time, you enjoy. Obviously the football is important.
Absolutely,
Yeah, exactly. You go with your mates, you enjoy it, and to get to come to places like this and watch the Arsenal is obviously a real privilege for all of us. And we've had a great trip so far. I'm sure we'll have a great night. Yeah, brilliant.
And assuming Freddie stays in the job a few months longer, how much do you want the Europa League to be taken as a priority in the next few
Freddie's
rounds?
going to win it. I'm calling it now.
Oh, come on.
It's got to be a priority because if you look at the rest of the league, with Liverpool, with the point difference they've got, Leicester playing the way they are, Man United, the way they performed against City was incredible. And then, that 4th spot, Chelsea's looking good, Wolves looking good, Sheffield United are looking good. Obviously Spurs won't get that, they'll get 12th. But we've got to focus on the Europa League. We've got to focus on the Europa League as our wild card, our joker, our card in the pack that'll keep us up.
Saying that, I think we don't want to go the same way as we did last season, where obviously the situation's slightly different in terms of we're probably not going to get the top 4 this season. Sorry to be a bit of a dampener.
Oh, he's always got to bring it down.
I'm a realist, Layth. I'm a realist.
Down the man Downey.
But last season there was a lot of focus put on the Europa League, especially towards the back end. I think blew it in the Premier League. You don't want to have too much focus on one competition. You've got to juggle things across the board.
Yeah.
So you need to learn from the mistakes.
I totally agree. I mean, we've got obviously the home against Leeds in the FA Cup. We haven't got the League Cup to worry about. Terrible tournament, who cares? But the Europa League is something we should really focus on because, for one, more away days, more trophies. Champions League spot if we win it. And also, I personally really want to win it to make up for that horrendous final last season.
And we'd actually be able to go to the final this year.
Well,
thanks UEFA.
I mean, obviously,
thanks UEFA.
You get Champions League qualification for top 4 and Europa League finish. Obviously, you'd rather win the Europa League and get a trophy and qualify for the Champions League. So
not unless you listen to Wideband Radio, where the Leicester fan claimed he'd rather get top 4 than win the league.
Mentalist.
That's a different conversation for another day.
Talk about the beers.
Dad's views are
What was the beers like today? Seriously.
Rate them highly.
This is one thing Premier League stadiums have to look for.
More
right?
beer.
You go to the Emirates, it takes you 40 minutes to get served at half time, which is something mad. We were out the state, into the bar, got the beers within 30 seconds. And it cost us the pricey sum of 12 euros.
We went looking for a hot dog and didn't find one, to be fair. So.
Cheeky bratwurst, lovely.
But how good were the beers pre-match as well, though?
Oh, they were wunderbar.
I'm sure we'll enjoy some more after this video. Also, you mentioned
we'll do a
things
tweet
you'd
updating
like
you on the beers post.
Yeah, of course we will. You mentioned things you'd like in the Premier League. I don't know if you guys could see it because it was kind of off to your left. But there's a section of safe standing.
The safe standing just
I really like it. I want it in the Premier League. I want it at the Emirates.
Ultimately,
it's a really nice ground.
Every time we go away, do we ever sit down? No. Just make it safe standing. And that's how you avoid what happened at West Ham, where we had 7 people piling up next to us, all salmoning.
It's one of those grounds. It's got that really steep banking, and it just feels like the fans are right on top of you. I mean, we were in the
proper ground.
It's like we were in the 3rd tier, weren't we?
So I come here 26 years ago to watch Arsenal win 7-0. It was brilliant. They've obviously updated it since, but you're right. I mean, it does make a difference to have safe standing. It really does.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair play.
Anyway, can we go get the warm now? Because
Yes.
I can't feel
I'm
any
very,
part. I currently cannot
very
feel any
cold.
part of my
Very,
body.
So
very
we got a WhatsApp group going. We're talking about who we want in the next round, basically. Who do we want?
Yes, yes.
Who do we want?
Ajax for the laughs.
Everyone wants Ajax, don't they?
Porto. I want Porto.
At some
I
point,
want Porto
at some
as
point,
well.
Inter
I want
would be
Porto
great.
because I love Francesinha and I love Portuguese beer. Super Bock all the way.
Superboc, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Suddenly the wind picks up dramatically, so we are going to go and head
Yes,
for a
please.
bar. Thanks very much for watching. We've done a player ratings video and a From the Press Box video with Dan and Layth. Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe.